So, two news stories about the so-called Proud Boys have run in recent days. Each story is interesting in its own right, but I think when you put them together, it may tell us something about possible coordination between the Department of Justice and the J6 Committee, the Congressional Committee investigating the insurrection. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So can we talk about the confluence, the coming together of two recent news stories? Because I find it really interesting that just yesterday we learned that the Department of Justice has indicted the Proud Boys for a seditious conspiracy. And now today we learn, courtesy of some New York Times reporting, that the first of the January 6th public hearings, scheduled to begin on Thursday, will actually focus on the Proud Boys preparing to attack the Capitol, including some video footage never before seen of a pre-attack planning meeting of the Proud Boys. Let's look briefly at each of these two stories in isolation, and then let's put them together and see what, if anything, we can infer from these two stories about the Proud Boys. Let's start with the public reporting from NPR, and here's the headline: Proud Boys leader Tarrio, 4 others charged with seditious conspiracy. Now, Enrique Tarrio might be the head of the Proud Boys, but their de facto leader is Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is criminally responsible for what the Proud Boys did on January 6th. There are 3 data points that prove that to be the case. Data point number 1, Donald Trump recruited the Proud Boys. He told them expressly to stand by. What does stand by mean? Await my further orders. He recruited them. Data point number 2, Donald Trump set the date for the Capitol attack. He told the Proud Boys and others, come to D.C. on January 6th, it will be wild. And data point number 3, Donald Trump deployed the Proud Boys. He gave the order to attack the Capitol. He told them to go to the Capitol, fight like hell or you won't have a country anymore. Now stop the certification. The word he used was steal, stop the steal. There was no steal, which helps provide evidence of Donald Trump's corrupt intent. Yes, Donald Trump is criminally responsible for the seditious conspiracy, for the attack on the Capitol carried out by the Proud Boys on January 6th. You know, this is not some kind of crazy theory or prosecutorial overreach. You know, this is just the application of the law 101. So now let's turn to the second story. The New York Times just ran a piece about the January 6th public hearings, which are scheduled to begin on Thursday, June 9th. And here is the New York Times headline: January 6 hearings give Democrats a chance to recast midterm message. And buried well into that story, this little nugget. A significant portion of the first hearing on Thursday evening will focus on the Proud Boys, a far-right group whose members have been charged with seditious conspiracy in connection with the storming of the Capitol. So just yesterday, the Department of Justice indicts the Proud Boys for a seditious conspiracy, and today we learned that the first of the J6 public hearings will focus on the Proud Boys, their seditious conspiracy, and their attack on the U.S. Capitol. Coincidence? I think not. So what can we glean from reading these two stories together? Well, I have a feeling that the January 6th Select Committee investigative team and the Department of Justice are coordinating much more closely than we may have thought. Why do I say that? Well, the J6 investigative team consists of a fairly sizable group of former federal prosecutors. This is not an ordinary, House staff committee. It's made up of former federal prosecutors who have a real expertise in gang prosecutions, RICO prosecutions, public corruption cases, and yes, violent crime cases. And I do suspect they're coordinating much more closely, properly, but more closely with the Department of Justice and the federal prosecutors who are handling the insurrection investigation than we may have suspected all along. We'll probably know more about that soon. So this sort of dovetails with one other topic that I want to touch on, and I'll finish on this. I wrote a piece for MSNBC Daily, which we'll probably post in the next day or so, perhaps right before the public hearings kick off. And I try to take on the issue of, is the Department of Justice taking an investigative back seat to the January 6th Select Committee? Because that would be unusual. When it comes to criminal investigations, DOJ ordinarily wants to go first, and then Congress would generally go second, investigating matters with an eye toward legislation to try to fix whatever problems they uncover. So I pose the question, is there a method to what looks like investigative madness? And as soon as that piece posts on MSNBC Daily, I'll probably do a quick video on it, because I try to explain from my perspective inside the Department of Justice for decades what I think is really going on here. Because the lack of transparency can drive us nuts. It gets us anxious, even depressed that, maybe DOJ is not going to deal with the crimes that we've all seen committed in the harsh light of day by Donald Trump and company. But friends, I believe they are. Even if it feels like it's been too long coming, I believe they are. Because, among other reasons, justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.